his head. Back to work. Whatever. If she tries anything, I'll just pack up and walk. Just then, Yeonan walked past me, and a fresh, clean scent drifted right to my nose. I kept my eyes on my screen, and didn't look up. What I didn't notice was that, as Yeonan passed by, she had her hands clasped behind her back, with the faintest smile on her lips. She made it back to her office, pulled out her chair, and the second she sat down, let out a long exhale. Ugh, being CEO is exhausting. Then, with zero regard for appearances, she kicked off her heels, and felt instantly 10 pounds lighter. So much better. She sneakily fished out a few gummy candies she'd been hiding in her pocket, tore them open and popped them in her mouth like a little kid. The moment the sweetness hit, the look on her face was pure bliss. Only 18, already stepping into a role that would challenge most 40-year-olds. Academics had always come easy, but high school had brought one moment she could never forget. She'd fallen for that boy, and she'd spent a long time figuring out how to confess. His grades weren't anything special, but he was impossibly good-looking. She remembered one particular morning, warm sunlight falling across the clean, sharp lines of his profile. That face glowing in the light completely hooked her. Her heart was a mess, and because of that crush, her school ranking had actually slipped in sophomore year, from her permanent first place, all the way down to second. And still, that boy had turned her down. Of course, she knew he'd meant well, but now, they'd crossed paths again. And in the strangest way possible, as those memories slowly came back to her, her cheeks went pink in an instant. Right then, her secretary barged in without knocking, and startled her half to death. "President Ye, are you okay? Do you have a fever? Yeonan?" Snapped to attention like a startled cat. Immediately sat up straight, slipped her heels back on, and composed herself. "Nothing. Next time, knock before you come in." "Sorry." Noted. Yeonan paused, a thought crossing her mind, and casually asked, what's the name of that guy out there?" She wanted to confirm his identity, so she gestured toward the glass partition. The secretary followed her pale, slender finger and looked over. "That's Gu Chen. He's a new video content reviewer, only been here half a month. Pretty diligent, though." After giving that quick answer, the secretary didn't think much of it and produced a heavy stack of documents. "President Ye, these are the files you requested. Admin, finance, operations, and so on. Please review at your convenience." Compiling all these documents had been Wanan's prior instruction, so he hadn't dared cut corners, but she barely glanced at the pile before looking back up. "No need. I already have a full picture of the company. Give me 2 minutes. I want a complete breakdown of the org structure." The secretary looked like he'd just heard something impossible. Time crawled toward 10 o'clock. I was tired and zoning out, stretching, yawning, when I glanced over and saw the CEO's office door swing open. Out walked a graceful silhouette, fair, smooth legs, in a pair of vivid heels, fitted in a sleek, understated black blazer, stunning. She was gorgeous, eyes locked straight ahead, holding a cartoon tumbler, filling it up at the communal water dispenser. That set off a flurry of whispers from curious co-workers. "Whoa, the CEO's little tumbler is so cute. Wait, doesn't the CEO's office have its own water dispenser? Why come out here to fill up? Maybe it's broken." Conveniently, the water dispenser happened to be right in my line of sight. Honestly, my thought was, she seems so relaxed. She definitely hasn't recognized me. That's a good thing. Whatever reason she's using the public dispenser, I wasn't going to overthink it. I was actually in a decent mood. Heads down, back to clicking away, munching chips. What I didn't